So, how about this? I'm reading the Bible and it says, wisdom, she will speak to you. She will talk to you. So the Bible says that if you're seeking wisdom, she will honour you, she will preserve you, and she will talk to you. She is the voice. So if you hear, so this is what I'm going to show at you, and this is going to totally, if you're listening to what, this is going to totally fuck up your head altogether. There's evil spirits, yeah, and people say they hear voices. First thing they do to you in a mental institution or in anything like that is they ask you, do you hear voices? So, how do they differentiate in a so-called Christian country? A Catholic country is not a Christian country. That's why they lock up all the Christians. And they say to you, are you hearing voices? If you turn around and say, yeah, you're fucking sedated, pumped full of alchemy, sorcerers, drugs and all, and you can't get healed while you're under the influence of those drugs. If you need healing. So I'm not saying that people don't hear mad voices of evil spirits and shit like that. But the Bible says that you will hear the voice of wisdom. She will speak to you. It's in the Old Testament. I'm not making it up. So what do you do about that? Huh? How do they know that if these people... But what I'm saying is, basically, does anybody know how to differentiate? How do you differentiate between the voice of wisdom and the voices of evil spirits? Well, off the top of my head, know them by their works. The people are doing good works. You see, here's the thing. I lived a life of what they call crime for years. I was involved in all sorts, gang violence, breaking up rapists, shooting at paedophiles, kicking the brains out of people, fighting with police, all sorts of stuff. But I wasn't going out looking for trouble. When I turned around one day and said, I'm sick of this life, yeah, they never really bothered me. I never really got much hassle of them. And then one day I said, I'm sick of this life. I don't want to have anything to do. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm giving it up, and I said I'm going to devote my life to the Most High God, the one true God, the Father in heaven. The life that I lived prior to that, it just started to crumble around me. The Lord was listening and he heard, and he separated me. And they were all over me like a fucking rash. And I knew all along, I was thinking, I'm breaking out of this old life and these fuckers know it. That's why they're all over me now. That's why they won't leave me alone. And it was true. As long as I was committing, but some of the stuff I was doing that they were calling crime, it's not actually crime. It's not listed in the Bible as crime, therefore it's not actually a crime. In the eyes of men who make acts and legislations for their own selfish needs to extort money from the less well off. So this is causing trouble, it is basically. So we're in a time of great trouble. Like, I can walk down this road now, yeah? And I could be dying for the piss, just for instance. I'm dying for the piss. And I take a piss there. It's a natural thing, I have to piss, I have to do it. But in school they make you ask to do a natural thing. Please can I have a piss, miss? Please can I go for the toilet? You're not allowed to tell them what you want. You're not allowed to say in school, miss, can I go and have a shit? They fucking go mad. Or teacher, can I go and have a shit? So ever since they've made what's natural illegal. If I was having a piss here now, I was dying for a piss, I'd say I'd have a piss. Coppers would come along. They'd probably charge me with indecent exposure, urinating in public, and they'd make loads of trouble and they'd bring me into the courts, into the stone buildings where the judges are in, the stony houses. They have to be overthrown, it says. Where the judges in the stony places are overthrown. Now, I come down to this part of the world. When I first come down here, I built a roundhouse on top of the hill of Tara up there. out of the way. Look at this one. Up there, the hill of Tara built a roundhouse. I got nothing but abuse from the people around here. Dirty fucking Dublin cunts. All sorts of shit I was getting off them. That dirty fucking Jackie. Dirty Dublin cunt. Now when I came back here, I was camping in the woods. There was a fella down there on a swing with his kids, and he's shouting over at me in the tent. Dirty fucking Dublin, hard drug dealing cunt. That's why he was saying to me. Now if I turn around and says, what do you want about me? Who the fuck are you talking to? He'd have rang the police. The police would have took his side, and I'd have been in nothing but bother. They'd have made trouble. They were making trouble. They're troublemakers. If I went to the town up the road for a few drinks, you can be guaranteed they'll start on me, and if there's a row, the coppers will come and I'll be the one that'll be in trouble, because it'll probably be their cousins or their nephews or something, or the uncles or the aunties, or they related and they know one another. Doesn't matter. It's like being arrested in China or in trouble in China. You're guilty. They're the same in this part of the world, but the foreigners don't see it, because when the foreigners come in, you see the two faces. See, the Dan is a serpent, but Dan is a serpent, and a serpent has two faces. So there's one face they show to the foreigners. Oh, how are you, Lord? Here, have a pint of Guinness. Have a good alchemy spell. Enjoy yourself here. Make sure you're drunk. That's what happens.